So welcome to part 4 of Cori doing foot reflexology on my feet. So it's Brandon Raynor here. And yeah, she's getting into some really nice stuff here on the sides of toes that can be so tight and so congested. Can be quite uncomfortable at different times to work. Obviously it's making her hands a bit tight, so she's just giving her hands a bit of a stretch and getting back into it. Big toes are a lot of work. I've worked on people's big toes for 3 hours or more just to loosen them up. It's amazing how much detail there is and how long it takes. And, you know, that right big toe of mine, I used to actually get quite a lot of problems in that second joint from doing so much lawn mowing here on our 17 acres and wheelbarrowing and that sort of thing. And it's very sloped, so I keep pushing it up and down the hills and making my second joint of my big toe very tight, where I went to even the doctor because I wasn't getting enough massage at the time. They were like, yeah, it's osteoarthritis. But then when I did get a lot of massage, it went away. So it shows you how massage can help prevent arthritis. A lot of people get problems with their big toe joints as they get older. So this is a great maintenance way to get rid of that buildup of tension. Whether you're excavating, I call it excavating when you're getting rid of tension that's been there for a long time, or you're maintaining somebody when you've worked them and loosened them up a bit, and you're basically just, getting rid of the buildup from that time. So Cori's getting in there with her knuckles and just stripping that chronic residual tightness out of my foot. You can see there's a slight degree of discomfort at times, but it's still working within my threshold. Overall, it just feels really good as she's getting that tension out. I love the way she's sort of moving her knuckles side to side there a bit as she goes down the foot too. Just gets right in there. So in this case, she's used a little bit of lotion, cream, to be able to move along there. And she can just apply a bit of gentle pressure with the Thai massage tool. Even though it's gentle, I'm definitely feeling it. That feels really good in there. It's like a good pain. So I often say there's good and bad pain. Good pain is where you're finding and getting rid of tension. And bad pain is where you're just hurting somebody. But this is good pain. It's just getting right in there. In reflexology, this is all like the abdominal area. We've got these new reflexology charts that we're getting printed at the moment that show all the different parts, and you can see where she's working there is all in the abdominal area. But yeah, they're great to have up on your wall if you're a practitioner. It just shows people how different parts of the body relate to different areas. I always recommend taking your time and doing a thorough job on the feet. It can take hours to do a good job on a foot. And just getting rid of that tension, it's just the best investment you can ever make, I think. Sometimes people think investments are all about money, but the best investment you can make is your health. And one major aspect of health is not having chronic residual tension in your body. And chronic residual tension is tension when you're like lying on a massage table and you're not using your muscle. So muscles are supposed to be tight when you're using them, but when you're not, they, in an ideal state, should be completely relaxed. And that's what our goal is as Raynor massage therapists, is to find and get rid of this chronic residual tension. And as I say, a lot of it has its origins and roots in the feet and the hands. And, as I was saying, there's bands of tension that start in the hands and the feet, and then they continue up. So like Cori's working on what I call the big toe belly band, and the big toe sacrum band through here, the Achilles band. So I'll show you a chart. So this is a chart of where all the different, what I call bands of tension, or how chronic residual tension runs in the body. It's taken me a long time to figure all this out. Some of it's based on knowledge from Thai Sen lines and meridians, but it's all physical things that you can feel, and that's what I teach in my course. I teach that in my online course if you're interested. You can go to RaynorOnlineCollege.com, take a free preview of the course. Learn how to do this. I think everybody should learn how to do this to help family, friends. You can see Cori's working on me. Everybody, needs it. Our course is relatively affordable, considering how much knowledge I put in there from 30 years experience. It's very effective at getting rid of this chronic residual tension. So, as I say, one of the best investments you can ever make. You don't just have to do this on a professional level. As I say, Cori's my wife. She's doing it to help me. You can help your parents. You can help your children. I think it's a great skill in India, which is something not necessarily Raynor massage, but Ayurvedic massage was something we practiced in all the villages. So in China they call it barefoot medicine. It's interesting when you're doing barefoot reflexology as well. But yeah, as I was saying in my last video, that it takes away the profit from going all to pharmaceutical companies who just rely on people being sick and then them giving them medications to affect certain things. Whereas we get rid of chronic residual tension, it causes so many different problems, from arthritis to headaches to back pain to organ dysfunction to joints becoming stiff and not working properly and causing pain, and all sorts of things are caused by this chronic residual tension. And some of it's caused by emotional problems, and when we get rid of it, we get rid of those emotional problems as well. If we do deep breathing with it and release, you'll see in a lot of my videos, people are having emotional releases. I usually let out a few screams. Sometimes I have a bit of a cry when I get a massage. I just let whatever's going to come up. I call it a non-judgmental frame of mind. You don't judge what's coming up. You can have emotions stored there and just let them out. Some people have these ideas like men shouldn't cry or whatever, but I actually think that leads to holding in emotions, and why in Australia, for example, men have really high rates of suicide. So, yeah. I think if everybody got a massage, it'd be so beneficial. Even all the troops coming back from different wars and things like that. So many suffer from PTSD, whereas if we did, 40 hours of massage on the soldiers coming back and just completely thoroughly got rid of all chronic tension, I think they'd feel a lot better. During that time, they might have emotional releases and things, but they'd feel so much better, and we wouldn't see all this veteran suicide and drug addictions and homelessness that's happening. We can just clear out these traumatic experiences so that people can live in the present rather than being caught up in the unresolved emotional issues from the past. And as I say, a lot of those are stored in the feet. So Cori's got a nice pointed elbow that she can really use to get in there too. You can see it's getting in a bit deeper, flinching a little bit, but still within my threshold. She's sensitive to that. Here she can use her body weight more effectively. This feels so good. I love having the tops of my feet worked, and especially with a little bit of cream. It's just so much little bits of tension come in through the top of the foot. And here she's working my upper little toe band. And yeah, this happened a few days ago when she was massaging me, and it just felt fantastic. I'm getting in all across the tops of the feet. Just so I could lie there forever and just get massaged like that. Probably have to get up eventually and pee and eat something. But it feels really good. I really think it's so important, especially, my body's 51 now, and just to maintain it so that I can live a long time. I think getting rid of chronic residual tension is so important. Even you'll see some of the videos I was working on. Phyllis, who's in her 80s, and she'd not even started getting massage till her 80s, and it's taken a long time to reverse the tension, but she now looks like she's in her 60s, and her doctors can't believe it, and her arthritis has gone away, and she's almost at that point of being in a wheelchair when we first started working on her, and now she's like doing her bowls and things like that. But so much better to prevent it. So rather than wait till you're 80 and then try and reverse the tension, which takes a long time, keep tension at bay, and you're it's best to work on children. Like I'm working on Ellie, who's 2, almost 3. And, I massaged, all my kids from the time they were born. Yeah, you got to crank as many years out of the body as you can, I reckon. Healthy diet, just do your best you can. That way you can be there and pass on your wisdom for your children, or help them out, contribute to society, lead a good life. Cori wants me around for a bit longer, so she's putting in the effort. But yeah, I think it's great for spouses to look after each other in this way. It's not like people think, oh, spouse massage is all sensual and all that. It doesn't have to be. It can be health oriented. The best thing to do is to look after each other's health, look after your family, and look after your parents. I massage my father from time to time when I'm down in Sydney. Look after your kids. Teach your kids to massage. Ellie's watching a lot of the time when we massage and comes in and helps. And we got to make a video of when she's helping Cori do cupping on me, because that's classic. And it's just beautiful, train them up. I know Ellie wants to be like a doctor or a naturopath, and she's not even 3 yet. So, I think don't always think of massage as just a career. I think of it as a tool to help loved ones, even people you don't love. And you can develop. It's a great way to develop love for people too. If somebody's not empathetic or something like that, learning to care for people is a really good skill. And being of service, I think that's something that, is so important. A lot of people don't emphasize. A lot of people are very caught up in themselves, and, it's all about me. But when you're massaging people, it's the ultimate of being of service to the person. How can I help this person get a higher level of health? Especially with Raynor massage, it's about the health. It's not about, how do I make the massage feel all nice and sensual for them? So we're not prostitutes, but it's not about sensuality, it's about health. But how do we help this person get a higher level of health? So Cori's like just stripping this chronic residual tension out of my foot. Stretching it. Opening it. This feels so good up through here. Oh, and in here. I can feel it again as I watch it. It's that ASMR effect. Right in there, it's like tight. This feels so good, especially after doing all this gardening. I've been doing a lot lately with lawn mowing, wheelbarrows. I've actually been doing a lot of weed whacking, a couple days before this. Quite heavy machines. So yeah, it just feels great to get rid of that tension. Already you can see my foot's getting more flexible. My toes are getting more flexible. It's just, feels so good. Brings back nice memories, even though it's only a few days ago. It's just getting rid of chronic residual tension is one of the best things in life. So this is coming to the end of the part 4 soon, but we'll get a couple more minutes actually. Yeah, it's just nice. You can just move around the foot, finding any bits that are tight, getting to the roots of them. Coming back and forth. You don't need to stay on one place. You can see Cori's come back to this spot. But, and you can see my little toes curling inward a bit. And as mentioned, I got a bit of tinea in that foot, so I've been trying to treat that. Pick that up in somewhere like in New Zealand, one of the hot springs place at Hamner Springs, I reckon, and haven't been able to quite get rid of it. It's affected that little toe and pulled it forward. It's hard and creating tension at the bottom. This feels really good. Yeah, and she's working up like a 8 or 9, 9.5 sometimes. Takes time to loosen the foot. Hours and hours can take. I often do several, like when I do a treatment plan on people, I might do like a first treatment of a bit of working everywhere, and then I do like 2 or 3 hours on one foot, 2 or 3 hours on the other foot, then a couple hours on each hand. Then I come back and do another circuit. I might do 2 or 3 hours again on each foot, and then the hands again. So, this is the end of part 4. We've got part 5 coming up.